The Oklahoma City Thunder clinched a trip to the NBA Finals with a 124-94 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves on Wednesday night. I said this series was over when OKC won 2 nights ago, and I knew they were going to win this one. I didn't think Minnesota had the mental capacity to hang, and I'm going to get to that in a little while. But first, I think we should give the credit where credit is due with OKC. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 34 points, 8 assists, and 2 steals in leading them to the finals. He also had some help from Chet Holmgren, who played very well. Dort shot 4 of 10 from 3 for 12 points. Jalen Williams had 19 points, and the bench was a little bit better in this game, particularly Isaiah Joe and Alex Caruso coming off the bench and helping in a big matchup way. Alex Caruso's defense was superb. The storyline of this with OKC going to the finals, it's official. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the greatest Thunder of all time. Notice I said greatest Thunder. I did not say greatest Seattle Supersonics, Oklahoma City Thunder player of all time. Okay, you can have Gary Payton in there. The Supersonics did win an NBA title back in the day. There is obviously the legendary Shawn Kemp, who has just recently pled guilty to a shooting and will likely face jail time, but I think we'd like to forget about him. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the greatest Thunder of all time. I'm sorry, he is. Sorry, Kevin Durant. Sorry, Russell Westbrook. SGA's better. Let's first talk about just this past regular season, okay? Across the board, SGA has accomplished everything every great Thunder has accomplished. You would obviously have Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook in the categories. They each won MVPs with OKC. They together took OKC to the finals. SGA just took OKC to the finals and won MVP his past year. Now, let's go ahead and break down the actual stats that will show you why SGA is the greatest Thunder of all time. Comparing him to Kevin Durant, let's just compare him to Kevin Durant because we mostly both would agree. We would all agree that Kevin Durant's probably better overall than Russell Westbrook. SGA's points per game, steals per game, assists per game, field goal percentage, and turnovers per game numbers were all better this year than KD's best year in OKC in each of those statistical categories. Now, if you do standard generic across the board stats, you do those 5, plus you do rebounds, blocks, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Those 9. Those are the 9 you look at. Already, SGA's year this year alone, he's better in 5 of the 9 standard stats used to compare NBA players than the best years Kevin Durant had in those categories. Kevin Durant's best rebounds, blocks, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage were still better than SGA's. By the way, they should be. He's got 5 inches on SGA, so he should be better with rebounds and blocks, and he's literally known for his shooting ability, so 3-point percentage and free throw percentage is not a shock. But SGA's field goal percentage is better than the best field goal percentage Kevin Durant ever had in OKC. Russell Westbrook, now you guys would think maybe standard stats favor Russell Westbrook. The guy did average a triple-double the year he won MVP. Not correct. Yes, assists per game, rebounds per game, and steals per game, Westbrook's best years were all better than SGA's year this past year. However, SGA had surpassed Westbrook's best year in OKC in points per game, blocks per game, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, 3-point percentage, and turnovers per game. So SGA was actually better in 6 of the 9 categories than Russell Westbrook. SGA this year alone, and keep in mind, guys, we're talking about a guy who is only in his 7th year in the NBA and only 6th in OKC. And with guys like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, we're talking about guys who played a darn near a decade with OKC. As a matter of fact, Russell Westbrook did play 11 years with OKC, and I want to count. I do believe Kevin Durant played, you guys can correct me on this, 1 year was with Seattle. But okay, so Kevin Durant played 8 years with OKC. So 1 more than SGA has played with OKC than SGA has played in the league to this point. So I'll give Kevin Durant a little bit more of a pass, but still, in terms of overall stats, SGA's got to beat. Now, what about advanced metrics? Because we can talk those, but I'm as much of an analytics believer as anybody. What about analytics? Let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. Well, SGA's PER is better than Westbrook's or Durant's best PER ever in a season in Oklahoma City. The PER he had just this past year, SGA. Also, SGA's win shares per 48 minutes. Better than the best win shares per 48 minutes that KD or Russell Westbrook ever had in OKC. His box plus minus. Better than the best box plus minus season KD or Russell Westbrook ever had in OKC. My 5 key stats of advanced metrics that I try to go by and I try to bounce them out are win shares per 48 minutes, box plus minus, PER, win shares total, and value over replacement. SGA has them both beat in at least 3 of the 5. He has Westbrook beaten 4 of the 5, by the way, because he also has total win shares better than Westbrook's best this year. Russ slightly hasn't beaten value over replacement. KD's MVP year, his total win shares were better than SGA's win shares were this past year, and his value over replacement was better than SGA's this past year, too. So we have to be fair on that. Now, as far as advanced metrics go, the other best one you could really rely on, KD's best true shooting percentage year in OKC was 635. That was 2013, 2014. SGA's was 637 this year, so he was actually a better scorer than Kevin Durant this year. True shooting percentage is not the best metric of better scorer. LeBron has a better true shooting percentage than Michael Jordan, largely because they play in a different era. Shot selection has changed, but KD did play in the era where shot selection like that mattered, so he doesn't get the pass. Now, as far as Russell Westbrook goes, he's never had a true shooting percentage above 554, so he's irrelevant to that conversation. Simply put, stats-wise, across the board, SGA has been a better player, clear as day, than Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook were with OKC. Now, do you want to put in career value? I mean, maybe. But again, they went to the finals once. Kevin Durant's MVP year, they didn't even go to the finals. They were a barely playoff team, Russell Westbrook's MVP year. So you're really relying on the early years of OKC where they went to the Western Conference Finals in 2011, and then they went to the NBA Finals in 2012, and then they got bounced out in 5 games by the Grizzlies in 2013. Westbrook did get hurt, but I think Westbrook's a stat patter who doesn't actually improve your teams, so I don't really value that anyway. Then 2014, they got bounced out in the Western Conference Finals again. So honestly, putting it all together, yeah, SGA is better right now, is a better all-time Thunder than Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook. Okay, and by the way, it's not like they don't have other playoff success before this finals too under SGA. I mean, they had playoffs. They were 57-25 last year and made the playoffs. So, we have to be fair on this. They did make the second round of the playoffs. I really think it's clear cut. And obviously, if OKC gets a ring, it wins the title, then it's over. And they got the best record in the NBA. So I think they'd be the favorite to win the title no matter who they play. So I think it's clear. I think it's over. I think it's a wrap. SGA is a better all-time Thunder than Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook. He's the greatest Oklahoma City Thunder of all time.